Hello world, these are the adventures of Super Chick. I'm Cecelia Sterling and I have a long story to share. So this time we're trying something new. We've broken it into 3 parts. This is part 2, Overcoming Beliefs.
So it comes to a point where I call the private school. I'm feeling nervous, but supported in the possibility of the public school. And I feel it's important that I explore my options. So I call the private school, assuming they don't have any room. And I say, I was curious if you have any room in your upcoming year at this grade level. And they said, yes, we do. Oh, look at me, wrong. I'm like, okay, I think I'd like to come in and learn a bit more about the school. And they were like, we would love to have you come for a tour and then we could do an assessment. And I was like, okay, that sounds great. And we schedule it. And my daughter and I go, and I joke about it later that as we arrive, like butterflies are released. And I'm going to say it's too good to be true because it's not that. It's just lovely. And it's a little storybook. And I like it. And what if we could go there? I think I like it. And so we go to their chapel. It's an Episcopalian school, which I don't know much about. And as I learn about it, I feel relatively comfortable with the description of what that is. But I really like some things that I experienced during the chapel. I don't have much religious training in my upbringing. And then we come out to a flagpole gathering of all the students. And a 4th grader walks up to us of his own accord and says, hi, I just want to introduce myself and welcome you to our school. I'm not kidding you. I almost started crying. And that felt like kind of an odd response, but it was just so welcoming and beautiful and authentic. And he's the son of one of her past teachers. And all I want for her is like a strong, comfortable, safe sense of community. And what better example, right? Like, even the school administrator standing behind me is like, honey, look at you welcoming our guests. Like, oh, see, like he got a high five. It was beautiful. And we go on to, say the Pledge of Allegiance, and there's the flagpole, and then they get to connect with each other, the different grades, before they go to their classrooms. And so they're supporting community. And during this gathering, the director has had to make some changes to the schedule and classroom assignments for the day because they're doing standardized testing. So they're doing things a little different that day. She just discusses that with the entire school and kind of goes back and forth with another one of the leaders there. Did we decide on that? We did. Okay. Yep. Okay. I just wanted to make sure before I announced. And then, so not only are the kids experiencing, in my opinion, in this moment, incredible leadership, they're also witnessing one step behind it, where there's process, conversation, negotiation, not just one person deciding. And I'm like, that's the type of leadership I want my daughter to be exposed to. She has serious leadership skills. I want to be intentional about the leadership she's learning from, right? And I had an incredible principal in my elementary school. She was amazing. And this woman kind of reminds me of her. So I'm like, wow, this might be a real possibility for us. And I walk into the office and I say, now we're going to meet to do our assessment. And no, I'm skipping a point. We go to the classroom that my daughter would attend the next year, and the kids are all listening to classical music and doing their work. And I'm like, beautiful. It was so calm in the room and vibrant with artwork and color, but there was just something so comfortable and calm, peaceful about it. I'm like taking a deep breath. I'm kind of excited to be there, a little anxious to be exploring a new space, uncertain and kind of insecure about the decisions we're going to be making. But in this moment, I'm feeling pretty grounded And in the last moment, my heart was opening, and this might be a really good option for us, right? And so then we go to the office because we're going to have a meeting with the director to do the assessment. And I say, well, so far I'm really interested. And I whisper, kind of unknowingly, we would need some financial aid to come here. And the woman says, what? And I say, we would need financial aid to come here. And she says, okay, there are packages available and I'll give you all the information there. No response to that. Like, whatever belief system I had going about how, like, we could never afford this, or because we can't afford this, we couldn't be welcome here. Like, bubbles are just getting popped and they're just gone. And I'm like, okay. And she's just giving me all this permission to be there. And I have a longer story just specifically about the financial piece that I have shared on our channel. But so then we move from that moment, which is a big deal to me. We move into the room to have the assessment, and it's so cool. We walk into her office, and first I see all these dots on the wall and the book, The Dot, which is one of our favorite children's books. And it's about, it's fantastic. Read The Dot for yourself and for your kids, both. But they have this literal, like, mural of dots, and it's about everyone bringing their light to the community to make this much bigger light. They are speaking to my heart and my mind all over the place. And I am just feeling so happy and comfortable here. And, I almost miss that happiness because it's wrapped up in the anxiety and the fear and uncertainty. But it's strong. Like, this might be my spot, our spot. This might be the best place for me to bring my daughter. And so they do the assessment, and I love the way the director talks and works with her. I'm kind of to the other end of the room and looking at my daughter's back. So she's focused on the director, but, like, I get to witness it. And not only from a child development perspective is this super interesting to me because of the questions they're asking and the games they're playing and, like, how, just like what they're interested in. But I get to witness my daughter and I just love her so much. Like, she's so cool in her responses and how she shows up, and she has all of this clarity in her voice. Like, her shoulders are up and back and strong, and she speaks clearly. And I'm proud, right, of the preparations and all the love that we have poured into this being. But ultimately, just in awe of her, like, showing up in the world and just, like, a few steps further away from me than she was, months ago, years ago. It's just so awesome, right? And so we do the assessment. It goes really well. And they're like, we would absolutely love to have her at our school. Like, they talked about her, like, they were just like, yes, please let us have her here with us. I don't know. Weeks later, I go to the public school for their orientation. And kerplat, like, it could not have been more opposite. Like, hello, here's our calendar. There's some classrooms you can go into. The teachers are in there. They don't have anything for you. Talk to them if you'd like. Right? We were like, okay. And of course, the classrooms are wonderful and the teachers are great. But there's a lot of them. And they don't care if we come there or not. You know what I mean? Even considering the fact that they actually needed to increase their attendance this year. And so that just didn't really work for me. Like, I like to be invited somewhere, to be quite honest. And it doesn't have to be literal, but I like the feeling of, we would like this experience. Would you? Yes. Great. And then there's a little more intention and kind of celebration and joy when you're together, right? And so I was like, wow, okay, I know that my daughter could go to that school and it would be just fine. Might even be fantastic. And she really wants to go to school with her friends. So after these two experiences, we talk about it together, and she says, I still want to go to the public school. I want to go with my friends. And I'm like, okay, can we talk about the positives of the private school? Like, are you at all interested? She's like, I mean, I'll give you that, Mom. It's great, basically. Translate that into 6-year-old language. Like, not to like, that's fantastic, but I want to be with my friends. Valid point, right? And I say, while I can't control the outcome of this, I will do everything in my power to help you experience what you'd like to experience.